What's up, everyone? My name is Gary Blackwood, and we're at the Hustler Casino today, and I am in the mood for this. I am not going to mess around. We're going to jump straight into the action in just a second. I'm here to crush some souls today, so without further ado, let's go. All right, guys, first things first, make sure you've got your seatbelt on because it's going to be a wild session. First hand of note, 10 minutes into the session, I pick up pocket 8s on the button. I raise it on up to $50 because the $20 straddle is on. And Hustler Casino Live regular J Boogs is going to put in the re-raise at the big blind. He makes it $235 to go. I didn't fly all this way to fold pocket 8s pre-flop versus a re-raise, so I go ahead and make the call. Flop comes down King 9-3 all clubs, and my opponent immediately looks back at his cards. Is this a tell? I don't know. Maybe it's a reverse tell. This guy plays a lot on stream and stuff like that, so really not sure what to make of it. But anyway, he bets out for $200. I know what my cards are, but I look back just to have a wee reminder, and I go ahead and make the call. Turn is an ace, not a club, and now my opponent actually moves all in. This is a big overbet. I'm a little surprised by this. We're not exactly shallow here, but of course not calling with a pair of 8s. I quickly fold my hand. He's actually got pocket kings. He's flop top set. I was in reasonable shape, you know. We actually rabbit hunt the river to see what would have been, and it comes another ace. No clubs for me. Losing a lot of small pots like this so far. A couple of 3-bet pots going against me. Not really off to the best of starts, but like I say, the action is insane, and it is epitomized in this next hand. So I get a rush of blood to the head, and I put on the $40 straddle. And the player to my left is going to put on the $80 straddle. The player in seat 1, we try and goad him into doing the 160. He's known for doing the 160 from time to time, but he doesn't do it. Then he looks at his cards, smiles sheepishly, and raises to $225. We needle him and told him that he should have done the 160. Action is going to fold all the way around to me in the $40 straddle. I haven't looked yet. I peel out 110 and then another pocket 10s. Let's go. We're about $1,900 effective here. So I don't think I want a 3-bet or, you know, just call or anything like that. You guys know what's coming. I move all in for 1.9K. The $80 straddle says that he hasn't looked yet. He takes a quick look at his cards, and then he's gonna call it off. This is insane. My pocket 10's not looking so hot. Thankfully, under the gun is tanking. He doesn't snap call with like aces or kings or something like that. Me and the $80 straddle, well, we're all in, so we're going to show each other our cards here. And what have you got? Oh, well, I've got this, I've got that. We're laughing and joking like a couple of school kids as we wait, and eventually the under the gun player just lets it go. So we're up against ace king of spades here. This is a big old flip, and we're gonna run it twice. Over to you, dealer. Let's see if we can win this flip and get off to a good start for the day today. Good luck to you, sir.
It's king, it's tens and ace king.
Oh,
No.
well, he's using them up.
Oh my god, is he have a club?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And he used up an ace and a king.
Oh, wait, did I win the first one?
You did. You hit the club on the wrist.
Has he run? He's
Oh, my God. He's through.
Oh, I didn't realize I won the first one. Guys, that is not a needle that you've just heard. I genuinely didn't realize that I had won the first board. Halfway through the second run out, I realized that I had a flush and I was going to win the first one, holding on the second one as well. And this huge pot worth nearly $4,000 is coming my way after just 30 minutes of the day. What a crazy hand this is. I randomly put on the $40 straddle, then the 80 goes on, and then big explosion of action. Absolutely love it. Let's hope the action is going to continue when I look down at pocket jacks in the straddle, and what's more, the $40 straddle is on. The button is a really good player. He's not technically a pro, but he basically plays like one. He is going to raise to $110. The big blind is a young, aggressive kid. Very good player. He's featured a couple of times in the vlog in the past. He is going to put in the re-raise. He makes it $450 to go. I've got pocket jacks in the straddle. I'm not min 4-betting. I'm obviously not folding. I move all in. Button is going to get out of the way relatively quickly, but the young aggro kid is thinking about it. I know that he doesn't have queens or better, so I kind of want the call here, to be honest. Eventually, he does just let it go, and it's another nice pot coming my way. Pretty fun start to the day with the straddles and the double straddles on. And next up, the $160 straddle is on. This is a 5-5-10 game normally, and it's quite a tough 5-5-10, but these guys love to gamble. I love to gamble as well. We're just having a great time. I look down at 6 deuce offsuit when the $160 $160 straddle is on, but I can have no complaints because when the 80 was on, I won a big pot. When the 40 was on, I won a big pot as well. So yeah, definitely can't complain that we run bad when the 160 is on. What's more, I've got a chicken sandwich coming my way after all the run good. Look at these chips I've got. It's a big chip stack. And I've got a specially crafted chicken sandwich. The 5, 5, 10 players at the Hustler Casino eat for free. And you ask them for anything, they'll probably make it for you. Why would you play anywhere else in Los Angeles? All right, moving on now. It's hard to keep track of all these straddles. It's a $40 straddle for this hand. I'm in the $20 straddle with pocket eights. And the button is raised to $120. He's the very good non-pro. There are going to be 2 callers before it gets to me, and I've got pocket eights, and we're like 2K effective with a lot of the players behind. I think shoving here would be a bit too big, but I think just calling is a bit meh, so I decide to squeeze here. I'm going to get $500, just kind of trying to take it down right here, right now. And if someone goes all in, then 50 big blinds with pocket eights, I'm probably going to have to just call it off. So I make it $500 to go, and sure enough, the button has got a shoving hand. He moves all in for 1.8k. Action falls back around to me, and I had a plan. It's not gone quite how I wanted it to, but I'm going to stick with the plan. I'm going to make the call here. Button triumphantly announces that he's got pocket aces. That's so annoying. We could be flipping a lot of the time. We could even have him beat with it if he's going to have like pocket sixes or sevens or something like that. But we're running it twice here, looking for an 8. Over to you, dealer. Let's see if we can find a way to win some money here.
He has
10.
He has queens right now, I swear.
That was such a sick level. Squeeze.
He doesn't look that upset. Did he win that board?
Oh, he's
Oh, I folded ace
Yeah,
queen.
I mean, he can't lose this board. How can he lose that board? Oh, now he can.
Now he can.
You're so lucky.
I folded
You're
ace
so
queen.
lucky.
Don't tell me it's
I've loved a set on the second board. You're so lucky. I'm just kidding. No 8 in sight for me, unfortunately. I'm going to lose this pot worth $4,000. Did you guys hear J-Boogs needling me? A couple of the other players at the table needling me. Everyone in this game is looking for the euro to lose. Just kidding. Obviously, it's all part of the fun here. We kind of needle each other when we lose big pots. But yeah, a $4,000 pot going the way of my opponent. Really swingy start to the day here. Let's just keep it going, see if we can claw back some of the losses from that pocket 8's hand. For this next one, I've got king 8 of diamonds in the small blind. And again, there's a massive straddle. The $80 straddle is on here. I decide to raise it on up to $225. I think this is fine. And the $80 straddle is gonna defend. We go heads up to the flop. It's quite a bloated pot because of that straddle. And it comes down queen, 10 deuce rainbow with 1 diamond. Good board for my range. Nice backdoors. I think we want to see bet here. I bet out for $175. And my opponent makes the call. Turn is the 3 of diamonds, and I've picked up equity, so I think I have to barrel here. I bet out for $525, and my opponent relatively quickly just lays it down. We're going to rabbit hunt the river to see what would have been, and it's actually the queen of diamonds. If only my opponent had a hand like queen 7 or queen 8 or queen jack or something like that, I would have stacked his ass on the river. But yeah, it's a nice pot coming my way after losing that hand with a pocket 8s. Really swingy start to the day. Haven't been able to count the profit tracker all that often, and now I see that I am up $125. To be honest, it feels like it should be more, but we're still in profit. I'll absolutely take it. The game is now going to change as well. So it has been technically a 5-5-10 game with a lot of crazy straddles, but now we're essentially just taking away one of the small blinds. So it's now 5-10-20, basically the same game, but one less blind, which I personally prefer, especially when there's lots and lots of straddles going on. So yeah, let's lock in and play this bigger game, even though it's the same game. So yeah, moving on now, I've got pocket queens, and I'm going to raise it on up in early position to $50. Button is going to make the call, and the small blind, who is an older fella that is not a nit, he's been in this vlog millions of times in the past, he is going to put in the re-raise. He makes it $250 to go. Action is back on me, and yes, I'm under the gun, and the small blind should have a stronger range as a result, but I don't want to call here and go 3 ways, so I'm going to put in the 4-bet. I make it $560 to go. We're about 3k effective to start the hand. Could maybe go a little bigger, but I think $560 is okay. It's going to kind of tell me where I'm at in a way as well. If I get jammed on, then maybe I could consider hero folding, but I decide to make it $560. My opponent has said to me in the past that he doesn't like to get it in with ace king, so if he shoves, I know that he's not got ace king. He's probably got kings or aces. He's deep in the tank, and eventually He makes the call. Flop is king 10 deuce rainbow, and like I say, I know this player does not like to get it in pre-flop with ace-king, so he's going to have more ace-king than most in this spot, so exploitatively, I decide to just check this one back because I know that my opponent can have ace-king really often here. Turn is an ace, about as bad as can be, and now my opponent actually reaches for chips. He bets out for $270, and this is really quite gross. But, I mean, it's $270. We're in position. We've got 4 outs to the jack, 2 outs to the 6, and it's not unreasonable for us to have the best hand here. So it is a little bit loose. Any bigger, I would just let it go. But for such a small bet, I decide to make the call here in position. River is a 3, and a little bit of hope when my opponent checks it on over to me. I'm, of course, snap checking back. He shakes his head and shows me that he's got pocket 8. Now, I did say that there was a chance I was ahead when he bet out on the turn, but it wasn't that big a chance. I'm a little surprised that I was ahead, to be honest. But that is one of the reasons that I called on the turn, delighted that I was actually ahead. I didn't face a big bet on the river, and I can scoop in this pot that I did not expect to win, to be honest. 10 minutes later, I've got pocket queens again, and I'm going to raise it on up to $50 under the gun again. Button is going to make the call, and this young aggro kid is going to put in the squeeze out of the blinds. He makes it $300 to go. Action is back on me, and same again. I don't want to go 3 ways to the flop. I want to put in the 4-bet, this time probably calling it off versus a 5-bet. I make it $740 to go. We're a little deeper with this player, so sizing up a little bit here. And sure enough, this young aggro kid, he doesn't have a fold button. He wants to see a flop. He goes ahead and makes the call. Huge pot here. There's about $1,600 in the middle. And the flop comes down 5-4 deuce with a flush draw. That is a pretty good flop for me, to be honest. No sets to be worried about. Maybe some 5-4 suited. Obviously, lots of gut shots and stuff like that. But I am going to c-bet this board, of course. I bet out for $450. My opponent thinks it on over for a few seconds and does make the call. To be honest, I'm not surprised to see this. We block his folds. Hands like king, queen suited, queen, jack suited. Those are the folds, but lots of middling pairs, lots of 10s, jacks, ace highs, etc. So I was expecting a call really often here. Anyway, we go to the turn. And it is the 4 of diamonds pairing the board. Ace 4 has just gotten there, but lots of like jacks and 10s and stuff like that. Also, this specific texture is quite unique. I probably wouldn't move all in on like 7-4 deuce 4, but our hand benefits from a little bit of protection from, you know, a 3 river or something like that. So with less than a pot size bet behind, I move all in for 2.2k. My opponent is definitely good enough to have aces here, but I fade the pocket aces snap call, which is always good. And he is deep in the tank. He's really thinking over his options. After about 30 seconds or so, I know that he doesn't have a hand like pocket kings or anything like that. I am putting him on pocket jacks specifically, and I am desperate for a call here. This pot will be worth about $7,000 or something like that if he makes the call. I am willing my opponent to make the call. After a while, he sticks in the call. Let's go. This pot is huge. I ask my opponent once or twice. He says twice. I turn over my pocket queens. He sighs and bows his head. First river is an 8, clean as can be. Second river is a 3, and my opponent is reaching. He turns over ace king. I can't believe this. This huge pot that we're going to chop because my opponent has called it off with ace king high. These 23-year-olds, these young aggro internet kids, I just can't seem to beat them. In all seriousness, a very sick call. I'm friendly with this guy. We spoke about it afterwards. He gave me his logic, his reasoning and stuff like that. It's a very ballsy call, and fortune favors the brave because we are going to just chop this one up. I was kind of chill about it in the moment, but it's like getting kicked in the balls. It's fine for a few minutes, and then just it gets a little bit sorer and a little bit sorer. And then before you know it, you're on the floor crying, which is exactly what happened here, but I didn't film it. But yeah, nice call from my opponent. He is going to chop this one up. And we move on to the next hand. I've got ace-jack offsuit in the big blind, and the cutoff has raised it on up to $75. He's a bit steamed up at losing a big pot in the bomb pot the hand before, and I'm going to defend out the big blind here. We go heads up to the flop. It comes down jack 8 deuce with 2 hearts, top pair, top kicker. Really good start here. My opponent bets out for $110. Can definitely raise here with top pair, top kicker. But like I say, I think my opponent is going to barrel a lot. He seems a little bit steamed up, so I go ahead and make the call. Turn is the ace of diamonds. Could not have picked a better turn card. and my opponent is gonna continue to barrel here. Yes, there's a flush draw out there, but lots of bluffs in my opponent's range, so I don't see the point in raising here. I am gonna just make the call and let him hang himself on the river. River is the 10 of spades, not the cleanest river in the deck because King Queen has just gotten there, as well as that has like 9-7 and Queen 9 as well, so not the cleanest river in the world, but my opponent moves all in for around about $1,100 or so. I don't take too much time in calling it off. Has he got a bluff? He says, I'm good, let's go. My opponent was clearly bluffing his ass off. That's exactly why I didn't raise on the flop. And my opponent has triple barreled with nothing, and that means this really nice pot is coming my way. Whilst I am scooping in this huge pot, let me take this opportunity to remind you guys how one of you could be accompanying me to Las Vegas to play in the World Series of Poker this June. One of you guys will be joining me this World Series of Poker on the 24th of June to play the tag team event in Las Vegas. This promotion is open to players from the United States of America or Canada. To be in with a chance of winning, all you have to do is sign up to Coin Poker using code GAZYB and pay $50 in rake between now and the 24th of May. That's it. Sign up using code GAZYB, pay $50 of rake, and you will receive a ticket into a tournament on Sunday the 25th of May. The winner of that tournament will accompany me to Las Vegas to play in the World Series of Poker tag team event. I'll be covering the buy-in, the hotel, the flights, everything. It's all on me. I just need one person to show their worth and win this tournament and accompany me. I'm really excited to run this promotion. It's going to be a lot of fun. Remember to always gamble responsibly, and I'll see one of you in Las Vegas on the 24th of June. Guys, I am so excited for this promo. It's going to be sick content. Yeah, really looking forward to that. But back here in LA, we've got King 10 of diamonds on the button. I'm going to raise it on up to $50. Big blind is going to make the call here. And we go heads up to the flop. It comes down 10-7-6 with 2 spades. My opponent checks it on over to me. And I'm going to c-bet here for $75. My opponent makes a relatively quick call, and we see the 9 of spades roll off on the turn. Not the best turn in the world, of course. So I am going to just check this one back. River is the jack of spades. My hand is just getting worse and worse here. And my opponent down bets. He bets out really small here. He bets out for $110. And I think, do you know what? I'm going to try some table talk here. I feel like you're trying to induce a raise out of me.
I didn't know if I was or not. I
feel like you're trying to induce me to raise.
I mean, like, oh man, I really fucked this up. I fucked this up so bad. It sounds like
You win.
I know nobody's got the ace of.
Nice one. Oh, you flopped it. I want to give a massive shout out to my buddy Sandor. He's an LA poker legend, and he's induced a bluff out of me and then called with the 7 high flush. One expert level play from Sandor. Lovely guy, and I'm sure a lot of LA players who are watching this right now know all about Sandor. Really, really good guy and a lot of fun to play with. But moving on, we've got pocket jacks in this next hand. And there's been a raise to $60. I'm going to put in the re-raise out the blinds. I make it $300 to go. Action is back on my opponent. He is a local pro. He plays really often. I've played a lot of hands with him in the past, and he is going to make it $750 to go here. I'm actually going to move all in for $3,000. Like I said, I played a lot with this guy in the past, so I'm happily making this shove here for $3K. He makes a relatively quick call, and we are flipping again. He has got ace king, and maybe we can win twice again and win this massive 6K pot. Let's find out.
No, we gotta do it like the World Series.
There we go. Professional dealer in the building.
Look at this, dude. Thank you,
I'm so ready. Are you ready?
Slow turn, slow release.
That's not good. That's not good. All right, do it really fast. Put me out of my misery. Oh, let's go. It sucks to lose the first one, but thankfully able to hold on the second one, and we just take our money back and chop it on up. But yeah, really, it's awful when you lose the first one because it's just like you're just trying to get your money back. But when you win the first one, it's like, all right, free roll, let's go. But yeah, chopping it up and moving on to the next hand here. I've got King 8 of clubs in the low jack. I raise it on up to $75. The button is a good local reg. He's the guy that nearly did the 160 straddle on and then had the ace queen in the second hand of the day. He is going to make the call here, and we go heads up to the flop. It comes down Queen 8-5 with 2 clubs. Second pair, second nut flush draw. It could go either way on the flop here. Could c-bet, could check raise, could check call. I decide to check this time, and my opponent checks it on back. Turn is a 6, and I decide to check again. I mean, I've just got second pair here. Is there much value to be had? My opponent is going to stab now after I check it on over to him. He bets out for $110 and an easy check call for me. Looking to improve on the river, and it is the 9 of clubs to give me a very sneaky, very disguised second nut flush. I check it on over to my opponent, and he bets out for $300 here. I am dreaming of Vegas and the effing Mirage. As I cut out the raise, I make it $1,150 to go. Nearly a 4x check raise on the river here. And what's better, my opponent immediately grimaces, so I know that he hasn't just made the nut flush, which is a bit of a worry off of my mind, to be honest. My opponent goes deep into the tank. He's talking to me, and to be honest, I feel very confident that he's going to call. He's talking, and he's trying to get a read at me and stuff like that. And eventually, he does stick in the call. This is a really nice pot, really nice river. And I really like my decision to check raise for this nice size on the river and get paid. Nearly $3,000 in this pot coming my way. And I am back into profit of $3,035 for the day. Bit of a swingy day. But yeah, $3,000 profit. Absolutely loving life. And what's more, next up, I've got pocket aces in the big blind. The player from the last hand is going to raise it on up to $60. The cutoff is going to make the call, and I put in the raise. I make it $300 to go. Cutoff is going to make the call. I think he's a little steamed up from the last hand. We're going to go heads up to the flop, and it comes down ace, queen, 3, top set. I'm going to bet out for $175, just trying to milk my opponent for something, but unfortunately, he is just going to let it go. But yeah, really exciting hand here. Putting in the squeeze, flopping top set, but unfortunately, no action. And we just take it down. Next up is a PLO double board bomb pot hand, and I've got a pretty good starting hand here in the form of Queen, Queen, Jack 7, and it's even better when the second board is Queen high and relatively dry. I'm going to check with my top set here, and the player to my left is going to pot it for $200. If holds around to the button, he is going to make the call here, and I'm not really sure what to do. I'm definitely not folding top set, but I decide to just shut my eyes and pot it. This is a $1,200 cap on this bomb pot, so I can only lose 1.2k, and I've got top set. It can't be the worst play in the world, so I move all in for the $1,200 cap. Player to my left is going to make the call. Action is on the button. He's really thinking over his options. This could be another huge pot, but eventually he does just let it go. And we're going to go to the dealer here and see if my top set is good and it can hold, and see if we can somehow find a way to win the other one.
Wait, hang on, dealer. I'm queens. Am I queens?
We're chopping. We're chopping. Uh-oh. Wait. I got...
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, wow. Oh, no.
Wait, what? I have a flush on the top.
Oh, he got there. You look at it long enough.
You fucking go there.
You get out there. We switched places.
So do we just chop it?
The old...
That'll feature heavily in the vlog as well, okay?
All right. I made it.
So the guy in the PLO double board bomb pot hand is Peter the Wreck. He's another local LA legend, lovely guy. I love playing with Peter, and his antics in this next hand are just truly, truly incredible. So I've got pocket eights. I raised it on up to $50. He has put in the re-raise. He makes it $200 to go. As I'm about to make the call here and we're about to see the flop, he asked me to look away so that he can show the camera my cards, and it's just carnage from that point.
Look, I'm going to show your camera.
All right, okay.
My hand. You're looking up.
I'm not looking.
Okay. All right, sound.
Can I look
No
now?
rewinding.
Can I look
You
now?
can look now. All right, chat. What would you do in this spot?
Check.
Gaz is probably going to check. Out of position. We're going to put a standard small C-bet out, see what he does.
I need to compose myself now.
We know what our hero has, but we also have a peek at the villain's hand.
Raise.
Ooh.
Sometimes, boy, you're giving information.
425. All in.
Call.
Oh, shit.
How many times?
2 times is good. Hang on, though.
Yeah.
Holy, hang on a second. Why can't you just have aces?
No.
Yeah, 2 times.
No, that's safe.
Okay, that's a whiff.
Oh!
Damn, you're dead almost on the
Chat, we played it great. I think you really...
That's incredible. That's just...
I felt it coming.
Now, I want to quickly say, I absolutely love this guy. It's so much fun to play with. Great dancing skills as well, but I'm a little disappointed. This is a pretty big pot, and I would have liked to have won, especially when I made a full house on the second one. But yeah, my opponent has made quads, and we're gonna chop this one up. I do win a couple of other pots after this, but suddenly I'm coming down with a bit of a sickness bug, so unfortunately my day is going to be cut short here. This is a great game. I'd love to stay and play, but feeling a bit sicky here. Check out my massive chip stack here towards the end of the day. It's been a really smooth day so far. Another nice winning day. But yeah, not feeling great, so let's go ahead, tap the table, and switch to the outro. Guys, very quick outro. I don't know why, I just felt super ill out of nowhere, so I've racked up and headed to the cashier. Results for the day, fantastic day. I had a lot of fun. Results for the trip are on your screen right now. We're having a decent trip. Let's keep it going. But yeah, heading home. I don't know what's wrong with me, but yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed the show. Do me a favor, click the sub button. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one.